The schools reopen tomorrow, thanks be to God. And some colleges will be back in session as well. In every obvious way, the Christmas season has come to an end. Congratulations, we have survived. But today we celebrate Epiphany. In Greek, the word we transliterate Epiphany means manifestation or appearance. Epiphany actually takes place on January the 6th, the 12th day of Christmas. But the chances of getting all of you back in here on Tuesday are pretty slim. So let's celebrate today. Epiphany is the day we associate with the story of the visit of the Magi. In some cultures, Epiphany carries the name Three Kings Day, and is the day on which gifts are given in exchange. It was also one of the 2 days in the early church year when the sacrament of baptism could be celebrated. And of course, there is the story of the wise men, the Magi, who follow a star to find a remarkable child. This is a story we think we know, though we probably have a few ideas in our retellings that have nothing to do with Scripture. The Bible never says how many Magi follow the star. We assume 3 because of the mentioning of 3 gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. To our Presbyterian way of thinking, we figure 3 gifts equals 3 gift givers. We're not into group gifts. And we have embraced legends surrounding ethnicity, though there is no mention made of that by Matthew. And we fail to remember that according to Matthew, the family is no longer in a stable, but in a house when the visitors arrive. So our exegesis is a little sloppy. Still, this story engages us. The story captivates us, if for no other reason than it seems so strange. What would motivate wise people, smart people, from so far away to undertake such an amazing journey? What would make them depart and home and simply go? Following a star that apparently moved in contradiction to what we know about stars. What were they looking for? In truth, the ancient Magi were looking for exactly the same thing that people have been looking for already. Those ancient stargazers were looking for something more to life. They were looking for answers to long-held questions. They were looking for meaning and purpose and fulfillment. They were looking for something more than the life they already knew. And when they saw the dazzling light of a new star shattering the darkness of the night sky, they thought, this is it. Without benefit of roadmap or GPS, with no hotel reservation or a plan of when or how they would return, they simply set off. Leaving the security of life and engaging on a quest. Perhaps they were middle-aged men. They needed something more than what their passion was normal. It happened. Off they went. And they made mistakes. They looked for the child in the wrong places. They followed the star to a place where they couldn't find Jesus. And when they found him, they probably didn't use the right words or offer the right prayers. They considered their gifts before they were right answers, and they gave them something more practical. And then comes the most remarkable part of the whole story. They leave. Isn't it odd that they don't stay? Isn't it strange that after searching for the very thing that would give them what they were missing, they pack it all up and head for home, even if by another way? When I read the story and rethought about the story, the words of an old YouTube song came to my mind. I've climbed the highest mountains. I have run through the fields only to be with you. I have run but I still haven't found where I'm looking for. After searching for what may have been a year or two, after purchasing their gifts, after risking it all, they turned around and went home. They still hadn't found what they were looking for. It wasn't that long ago, just a few short days, that 408 people packed our sanctuary on Christmas Eve. We were down a few last Sunday. We're still down a few this Sunday. The massive visitors have found other diversions, and some of our regulars have chosen to take yet another week off. And the question that comes to us is simply, what were they searching for? And did they find it here? Were they searching for a warm welcome? And did they find it? Were they searching for hospitality? And did they find it? Were they looking for joy? And did they find it here? Were they looking for understanding? And did they find it here? Were they looking for acceptance? And did they find it here? Were they looking for deeper meaning and purpose? And did they find it here? And what about us? Do we simply come out with some holy habit, not expecting God to change us and challenge us? Do we show up on Sundays with a spirit of anticipation and excitement, or has that sort of dried up with all the greenery? Are we expecting to encounter God, or are we simply getting our ticket punched in the hope that one day it will pay off and we'll get into heaven? Are we still a little too much like those ancient magi who caught a glimpse, sneaked a little peek at the child on Christmas Eve, and are now moving on to more pressing matters? It's our song, but we still haven't found what we're looking for. It's interesting that Isaiah speaks of a future hope that the faithful will rise to see the light of a new day breaking through the darkness of the night. The prophet's vision of a new future that God is bringing to the people recognizes Israel's worship as central in marking the place where God's light will shine on the people. Matthew builds his story on the image of that light rising and giving light to all the world. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. For darkness shall cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But the Lord will arise upon you, and his glory will shine over you. Nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your God. The light of the star shatters the darkness, the thick darkness, and the glory of God is seen by all nations and peoples. The Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh begins one of his books with this simple, elegant, but profound statement. All of us need to have a spiritual dimension in our lives. We see the truth of that playing out every day. Many of the horrific actions of so many in the world are because of a lack of spiritual dimension. The collapse of many of our institutions, public and private, are the result of a life-depleting lack of spiritual dimension. To borrow the imagery of Isaiah and Matthew, the darkness is thick and thickening, and the light is having a pretty tough time shining through. But what if we, God's only people, what if we reflect a little more of that light into the world around us? What if God's people were seen as light in the darkness, rich in the narrow-mindedness? What if we, as God's own people, offered a little more compassion, a little more help, a little more of whatever is needed by those of the world who do without so much? What if we, God's own people, not only embrace the light that rises from the presence of Jesus Christ, but reflected his light into the world around us? There is a worthy goal for a new year. Let us come together to reflect the darkness shattering, smashing light of Jesus Christ into the world around us. Beginning in Evansville and moving outward and onward. Let us come together to recognize injustice and speak against it. Let us promise to help each other see the poor and the homeless and help embrace a faithful witness to the good news of Jesus Christ in whatever way is needed, and that we will do it with creativity, compassion, and good food. Let us join together to speak truth to power, to expect more from ourselves and others, to honor the love that God has shared with us by sharing that same love with others. On this Epiphany Sunday, what are we looking for? What is our goal? My hunch is that whatever it is, at its core is a spiritual issue. We're all looking for meaning and purpose and the reward in life. And it is for that very thing that Jesus Christ entered this world. And his light still shines thick darkness, still provides hope and direction. What are you looking for? Looking for